see Dr. Victor Stenger. Start off just tell you a little bit about our company. He received his PhD in physics in 1963, took a position on the faculty at the University of Hawaii, and his current position is adjunct professor of philosophy at the University of Colorado, and emeritus professor of physics at the University of Hawaii. Dr. Stenger has also held visiting positions on the faculties of the University of Heidelberg in Germany, Oxford in England twice, and has been a visiting researcher at Rutherford Laboratory in England, the National Nuclear Physics Laboratory in Frascati in Italy, and the University of Florence in Italy. His research career spanned a period of great progress in elementary particle physics, and ultimately led to the current standard model. He's participated in experiments that help establish the properties of strange particles, quarks, gluons, and neutrons, or neutrinos. And he helped pioneer the emerging fields of very high energy gamma ray and neutrino astronomy. His last project before retiring, he collaborated with an underground experiment in Japan that showed for the first time that neutrino has masses. The project later received the Nobel Prize for that in 2002. Vic Stenger has also had a parallel career as an author and critically acclaimed books that interface between physics and cosmology, philosophy, religion, and pseudoscience. His 2007 book, The God the Failed Hypothesis, How Science Shows That God Does Not Exist, was a New York Times bestseller, and his book, Quantum Gods, came out earlier this year. His latest book, which he'll speak about tonight, is The New Atheism, Taking a Stand for Science and Reason. So please join me in welcoming Professor Victor J. Stenger.
Well, thanks for inviting me. I hope you all can hear me. Okay, is that go? I have a pretty good noise. It seems to be a acoustic room. Tiles on. Oh, that's good. Anyway, I'll tell you about the New Atheism. The New Atheism started around 2004 with the publication of a book called The End of Faith by Sam Harris. I'll say a little bit about each of these books. I mean, basically, what Sam was arguing was that faith is not something that should be given the recognition that it is. It should be taken so seriously. We should look forward to the end of faith, because faith is causing a lot of problems in the world. And that received a lot of attention, as you can imagine. Let's play that book. That received a lot of attention, as you can quite imagine. So he came back in 2 years with a small book called The Letter to the Christian Nation, which also made the bestseller list. Then this was followed by Richard Dawkins' blockbuster bestseller, which was on the New York Times list for 51 consecutive weeks, The God Delusion. And although Dawkins was subject to a lot of criticism for taking a highly negative attitude, he actually claimed that he was trying to demonstrate one of his primary goals was that it could be a happy atheist, that you could be intellectually satisfied, you could have a happy life as an atheist. Then, the same year, we had Daniel Dennett's Breaking the Spell, which was basically just a plea that we stop. The spell he was talking about here was not the spell of religion so much as the spell that we have that keeps us from really discussing religion, from criticizing religion. It's given this special treatment, and he urged us to just treat religion like any other one in the thought, and subject to the same criticism. Then my own book was God the Failed Hypothesis, came out in 2007, and this book, I claim, did break new ground. I I mean, there have been 1,000 books written where people say that the author has said that there's no evidence for the existence of God, and present the various arguments why there's no evidence for the existence of God. And that's true. But this book, I went further than that. I argued that the evidence that we have can be used to argue that there is no God beyond a reasonable doubt. That the God that most people worship now, the Judeo-Christian Islamic God, is a God that plays such an important role in our lives, is responsible for every leaf falling to the ground, for every atomic transition in the most distant part of the universe, that God participates in all of this. That God should have been detected by now. And that was my argument. So this, I think, was a unique argument, and it did people take it seriously. Finally, we had Christopher Hitchens, the well-known journalist, came out with God is Not Great, How Religion Poisons Everything. And he wrote this book based on his own experiences as a foreign correspondent, as a journalist, and he saw the various evils of religion in his travels. And so these were the 6 bestsellers that basically defined the New Atheism movement. Now, there were, I mentioned some other new atheists. So there are a lot of atheists out there, and whether or not they're a new atheist or not is not that hard for me to define. I read what they write, and I can tell you whether they're a new atheist or an old atheist. One I particularly recommend, I'm going to show you some books. There's a book, Godless, by Dan Barker, came out 2008. Very nice book. Dan Barker is a former evangelical preacher who is now co-president of the Freedom from Religion Foundation, which is the largest group of atheists and agnostics and free thinkers in the country. Very important group. They're in constant court cases defending the separation of church and state. So that's a little bit too, I need a little line up on my notes here.
Sorry, I messed it up.
Sit back, turn it back on.
Nice.
Some points. Here. There you go, I did it.
Too much.
Take it off.
He's got a mic that he can use. There you go. I think that light's on the plug down.
Now, if it stays that way, that's, I think, going to happen. All right, so anyways, talking about Dan Barker and the Freedom from Religion Foundation. They have a nice radio show that you can hear once a week, where you can get my podcast. Freeport Radio is called. Very good program. Anyway, I'll also mention John Loftus' book, Why I Became an Atheist. Another guy who was an evangelical preacher who changed to atheism is John Alan Paulos, a famous mathematician who Irreligion. Jerry Coyne is a biologist who came out with why evolution is true. I also should mention the blogosphere. Here's P.J. Myers, who's a very well-known, probably the most popular of the bloggers out there. They have had a lot to do with increased recognition of